What I did not expect to start using this keyboard instead of my Wooting. When I purchased the Redragon Fizz, I expected this to compete with the Owla Win60 because they were similarly priced. Despite its lack of some features, it felt better than my Wooting. And the thing about my Wooting is that it has custom switches. So the fact that this Redragon is doing better than the Wooting is just insane. So stay tuned to see why I think the Redragon should be your next keyboard. I bought this as kind of a joke. I really just wanted to compare it to my original Redragon. This clicky Redragon Kimura. This is one of the first keyboards I ever got. I really just wanted to see how far Redragon has come. This keyboard would not only be better than the Owla Win60 that I just reviewed, but it would also feel better than my Wooting. Once I looked into the specs, it started to make a little bit more sense as to why I felt that bit of a difference. I slid the sliders to the max, and what I didn't expect was that it didn't care. It just works. And not only that, it feels responsive and quick. Now, I really don't want to exaggerate anything on this channel, but genuinely, I don't know if it's the shape of the keycaps. I don't know if it's just how this keyboard is programmed or the 8,000 hertz polling rate, but this feels like I was playing with input lag this entire time with my Wooting. And I know it probably shouldn't be the case. Now I have some more keyboards to review. They're all back there. I'll let you guys know if I find anything better than this, but I just can't believe it. I just had to let it be known. I can't believe the performance I'm getting from this. And I had to look on Reddit because there are some features that this lacks, and I'm gonna get into that. Number one, it does not have SOCD. In my previous video, I turned on SOCD on the Owla Win60 HE, and I hit a crazy op flick, and because the counter strafe was too perfect, I got kicked. So with this keyboard, there's no option to do that. Now, in some games, you can kind of get away with it. I'm not too sure if it's allowed, but in Counter-Strike, it seems to kick you. So it's not a huge downside for me, which is why I don't mind that it doesn't have SOCD. But for some people, that might be a deal breaker. And confusingly, they do advertise it as having an SOCD competitor or a similar feature to SOCD, but they crucially mention SOCD, but then say it's some other technology. And let me tell you, it doesn't have anything close to SOCD on board. So I don't know what they were thinking putting that in the description. I think they were just keyword farming, not gonna lie. In that software, you can adjust a bunch of settings. You can calibrate the keys, which you should probably do right off the bat. And you can change the actuation points, which I did. I put them at the very lowest. But it turns out that they're actually using a software. The thing is that most of these other keyboards have already switched to a website. And do you think it's better to have Wi-Fi connection to be able to change your settings, or to have a offline utility, but you still need Wi-Fi to download it? I would personally rather have a website because I've never been in a niche situation where I don't have internet and I need to change the settings on my keyboard. And again, like all of my other keyboards, except for the Wooting, when I tried updating it, it was already up to date. This keyboard was probably manufactured last year, in the middle of last year, somewhere around there. So again, they're not updating this thing. It's probably long forgotten by Redragon in terms of getting support, but it is one of their most popular keyboards. So who knows? Maybe they'll make an update eventually, but I wouldn't count on it. Just digging into what's in the box, we have a cable, keyboard, a few manuals, some stickers, the keycap puller, the switch puller, and then a few extra switches. The switches are pretty nice. They do have a bit of play. They have a little bit more play than my upgraded Wooting switches. And yeah, I just felt the Owla Win60 HE, and it has a little bit less play than this Redragon keyboard. You don't really feel the play in the switches while you're using the keyboard in game, but it's just something to think about, right? That it does shake a little bit, so that's what we call stem wobble. Otherwise, you know, it's a very generic construction. I do like how there aren't any sharp edges, but I will say I don't really like the logo. I don't know, hate on me for that, but I don't like the Redragon logo, and I don't like how it's front and center. I would dock it for that, but I really like this gradient design. This was the cheapest one they had. It was $36, and the gradient design, I actually really like it in person. I didn't expect to like it this much. The cable being on the side, I don't really know why they would go for that. Maybe they just had a lot of L cable USB-Cs lying around. I don't know. Like, maybe it was just cheaper to do it this way. but I don't personally like that. I don't like that aesthetic. I like it coming from the back. But, you know, this is such a nitpick that it really doesn't even matter. The feet, it has the kickstand in the back. I don't really use kickstands though, because they kind of make my wrist cramp up. So consider that. These are really tall. Like some of them that come on keyboards are like dual adjustable. This one, on the other hand, just has one really tall setting. And I don't think I'm ever going to use. I was owning with this keyboard on CS and Valorant, had absolutely no problems using the Deagle. I don't know how to describe it. It makes my movement a lot smoother and fluid, which I really think is cool that a keyboard could be responsible for that. A lot of your aim actually comes from movement. And if your keyboard is holding you back, definitely look at this one right here, because this one with the Hall effect switches is really accurate and better than my Wooting. And my Wooting is also Hall effect. I don't know. I just feel really confident and stable and have really good movement and aim on this keyboard in particular. So what does that mean for the Aula? I don't really know if I can recommend this thing as much anymore. I realized that the issue it had with the keys sticking when you set the actuation too low is unacceptable, considering the fact that the Redragon works at its lowest point. So again, I really don't know why that is the case with the Aula. If you need the SOCD, realize that a lot of comments online have actually said that you can just do it with AHK scripts. So auto hotkey scripts can basically implement SOCD into any keyboard. Is it a complete necessity for it to be inside of Redragon's utility? Probably not. So definitely look into that if you need that for your game and it's allowed. And also RGB on this is pretty good. Has all the generic effects that you would expect on a keyboard of this level. And here's the thing. Do you see that like curve in the keys? That actually feels really good in game. I really do like that curve. I know these are stock keycaps and I know you can change the keycaps on the other ones, but it doesn't matter that this comes with really nice keycaps that are really growing on me. Like, I don't know if that's causing me to play so much better and to feel like it's so fluid, but genuinely it fits my hand like a glove. That was my review. We have some more keyboards in the back. I have the 68 edition of the Aula. It should be like the plus version. So maybe that one will hold a candle to the Fizz. But the thing is the price point of that keyboard is a lot higher than the Fizz. So if it's not a lot better, then I don't know what to say about that. I just can't even believe that I bought this keyboard as kind of a joke because Redragon was always a budget, dare I say, crappy brand. I was smoking people in death matches. So check out this keyboard. Link's going to be in the description below, and make sure to subscribe for future reviews. Peace, guys.